yet another episode of Corporate Talk 360. My name is Rachel Otin, and on this episode, we are going to talk about three very important things for you who is in the corporate space. So, these three things are be seen, be felt, be heard. But now that you already know about it, please don't touch the dialer. Please don't change this channel because we want to delve deeper into it. And before I proceed, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload a video, then you are among the first people to consume my content. So, without further ado, let's delve deeper into this topic. So great. The very first one is be seen. Always be available, have the least excuses so that you avoid being profiled in the office. So I know society dictates most often than not that you should always be least available. But when it comes to the corporate space, then you really have to be available. Why is this so? You'll notice that on this particular day that you have just made a lame excuse, that's when we have global directors coming. That's when there's just something flamboyant that is happening in the office that requires you. And when these senior leaders are in the office, that's when you're not available. This is just an example that I'm giving. But just try as much as possible to be that staff that is always in the office, the one that has the least excuses, the one that anytime we need you to to work on something or to do anything, then we can reach you. Not that all the time we look for you, your desk is empty. Today you're sick, tomorrow your dog is in hospital, or something just happens all the time. Every week we don't have a consistent Monday to Friday with you. Try not to be that kind of staff because you will be profiled harshly in the office and you will not like it. I will give you an example of a gentleman who purposed to be available in the office. So I remember in 2019, of course, I told you in 2019, I was in my fourth year in the university, and we had a lot of practical assignments. So we were supposed to go to Standard Media Group. I can't remember the assignment clearly, but we were to meet some of the presenters in the media house. So of course, after the learning that we got and the data we collected that was necessary for our assignments, we had a bit of banter with the staff at Standard Media Group. And I remember a conversation that stood out for me by a gentleman called Moses Wakisi. Moses told us that he started at Standard Media Group as an attaché. And of course, SMG was carrying so many attachés at the time to learn the different things in the media house. And when the attachment period was over, of course, everyone was leaving, you're excited, it's graduation and everything. But Moses took it to himself and said that I have a lot of free time now. What is the point for me to go back home and just chill? So he said it in his heart that he will always go back to Standard Media Group, even if there was no assignments that were given to him. So today he'd be in the newsroom, tomorrow he'd be in the production room, the next time he'd be at the field with the reporters. Like he just made himself available. He knew that at the end of the day there was something that he was looking forward to. And true to his thoughts, true to the words of his heart, there was a new, I think a new, I don't know if it's a new show or someone boycotted a show that was coming up. And at the time they were like, hey, who will fit up into this place? Who is this one person that is free, is available, is ready to do this, that can do it? And Moses happened to be there. So when he was there, he was like, I'll take it up. And that's how he got his first show at Standard Media Group. So Moses, if you come across this video, please um correct me if I've missed on anything, but I think that's what really stood out for me from our conversation in 2019. And then maybe if I could share another story that is out of context, but at least it will help you understand why being available is very important. I had a story of Jalango on Engage Talk, and he was saying he was actually giving his life story of how he made it in the Papa Shirandula show. And of course, for the actors and people in the content creation scene, then usually there is a script, and when your part is done, then that's the end of business for you. So he noticed that when we do this particular episode, then this is the last time that we will be seen on TV. So he caused a situation so that the script will change, so that he will be found again, and his role will remain to be relevant. So it is very important for you to always be available. And for the longest time, we saw Jalango on the Papa Shirandula show. He built his brand, and where is he now? Where is he now? So, purpose to always be found. Purpose to always be available. It is then that you will be seen by everyone in the office space. Wow, that was so deep. Okay, moving on. The second one is be felt. Be felt. Be that oil that keeps the wheels turning. What do I mean? I want you to have the thought of a car. If you look at the car, the very first thing that you will notice is the windscreen, the doors, the wheels, you know, the seats when you get into it. If you open the bonnet, you're going to see the engine, the battery. You're going to see all these visible things in a car. But there's one thing that when this car misses, it will not be of value to the owner. And this is the oil. The oil in the car plays a very, very important role. It is the one that keeps the wheels of the car turning. And what's the point of having a car without turning wheels? You can use it as a house, it can be a shell, but if it has that oil, the wheels will turn and the car will move you from one level to another. Not level, from one destination to another, or one location to another. How then can we be this oil in the office space? So, most often than not, like I said, the office space, people have targets, KPIs, deadlines to meet. There's a lot that happens in the office. So, for you to be felt in the office, for you to be very relevant, then you need to position yourself right. So, if we have a new project in the office, are you taking up a task in it? You know, if people are planning an event, are you in this particular planning committee? What is this other thing that you are doing besides what has been put in your JD? Are you that rigid staff that is like, I am here to deal with figures and that's it? Because slowly by slowly, when you engage in these different tasks, then you get to interact with people even from other departments that maybe you have not or will never interact with till kingdom come. Because, of course, there are such departments you get. And there's this one thing: if you interact with people in money in the senior positions, the departmental heads, the managers, the directors, slowly by slowly you get to understand the system. Slowly by slowly you get to know who are these people that call the shots in this organization. And slowly by slowly, as you interact with these people, you listen to someone asking, I'm trying to figure out this. Talk to Rachel. She was working on that project. Or talk to so and so. She is more conversant with what is happening around that. And when responsibilities are given to you from the small things that happen in the office, then you get to be relevant. Relevant like that oil that keeps the wheels turning. And it is then that you will be felt. How is this so? If we are planning, say, an event and maybe something happens, you'll just hear, but why did you guys have a conversation with Rachel about this? Please don't do this without consulting Rachel. And I'm using me as an example, but that can also be you. So make sure that you are very relevant in your office, because you will be that car, you will be that oil that keeps the wheels turning. It is the smallest thing, but it has a very impactful role. Wow, today's episode is so it's so bubbly to me. Moving forward, the third thing is be hard. Um, when I talk about being hard, I'm not talking about being the loudest, being the rudest, the rowdiest person in the office space, but I'm talking about this person who you are not always quiet and you're not also too loud. You only speak when it is relevant. So I will give an example. Say you're new in an organization or you're still trying to navigate the office space. How then can I be hard? So I'll give you an example. At my place of work, or for the places I have worked, most of the time when we have same meetings, they'd ask, who's going to pray for us? Be that person to volunteer, you know. Because it is then that people will know, we have Rachel in the meeting. Or let's say after a meeting or a training has been done, ask a question. It mustn't be really tough questions. You can ask for a clarification. You can ask if these documents will be shared to us. Just show that clearly you're interested in what is happening in the office space. So these three things are very important to you. Look at what best fits you and run with it. If the three of them will serve you right, then run with it. I promise you, you are going to move from one level to another just because of exercising these three things that I have shared with you. I am a living testimony of this, and I hope you will also be one. So, this is Corporate Talk 360 with Rachel. I am so excited, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until next time, bye.